You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasy.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What's up, everybody? Your boy Smitty here with a little bit of somber breaking news. We have some other news to cover, so let's hit the news desk intro and get to it.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, a little bit of somber news. Like I said, John Metchie, wide receiver, really gifted wide receiver for the Houston Texans, has been diagnosed with leukemia, acute form of it, and released a statement earlier today. Prayers up to Metchie and his family, by the way. Speedy recovery. We hope to have you back. Good man. John Metchie was a dark horse, like wide receiver that I thought could definitely, and still could, hopefully still could have some real dark horse potential in terms of fantasy football production and just being an NFL player. So prayers up to Metchie. He released a statement suggesting that he would recover at some point, that he's getting great treatment. So prayers up to Metchie and the Houston Texans for that situation there. Next piece of news, similar news in terms of like, will he play, will he not play? Metchie shouldn't play 2022. You never know, but odds are that he won't play any part of the 2022 season. This guy right here is going to miss some time too. Jameson Williams, who has the torn ACL. He's recovering from the torn ACL. And it looks like he's placed on the non-football injury list, I think because the injury occurred in college. So it wasn't something that happened on the Detroit Lions dime. So they're putting him on the non-football injury list. He's expected to miss a good game or 2 or 3 or 4. We don't know. No one really knows. But he's probably not playing the initial part of the NFL season. You could probably bet like the first 6 games if he gets put on the PUP. And then we don't know, what's in store for him. Will they keep him off the PUP? Will they start him off saying, hey, he can miss 1 or 2 or 3 games. Let's keep him on the ready. We don't know. But what I do know is him coming back early is not a great thing. We don't need him going out there for the first 4 weeks of the season, barely doing anything and risking re-injury or risking not having some sort of really good full go recovery. The ACL is interesting because if you look at in the back of the knee, you have your PCL and your ACL. And the ACL is one of those, you can see there, that is responsible. You can put it like if this was the ACL, responsible for holding the 2 knee joints together, and it keeps it tight. And when you tear it and it snaps like a rubber band, and your boy Smitty had this happen, when it snaps like a rubber band and it's flopping out here, they'll cut it out. They'll take a new ACL that they'll cut from a window inside the patellar tendon that will grow back. Okay, so they cut a window out. They take that new piece of patellar tendon, it's a tendon, and it dies and becomes a ligament. So once it dies and hardens, it becomes a ligament. It takes time for that process to happen in your body. It also takes time when you drill a hole into both knee joints and basically stick this new piece of tendon in there to become an ACL, and it's drilled in there, if you can imagine, and it's got screws, and there's holes in the screws. The bone grows into it, and essentially that ACL needs to become hardened in a part of the bone, a part of the body, and it takes time for that to happen. If you go out there too early and you start trying to do things like play early, get out there before it's fully healed, you could have like slippage where the ACL is not even, it's not even being used to stabilize the knee anymore. You have to make sure you do all kinds. That's why people can't. They say Cam Akers running out onto the field, playing football early. He played at 5 or 6 months. He's got to be great. This is amazing, right? No, it's not. It's not amazing, because just because you go and do something and you walk away and you potentially look okay doesn't mean you didn't cause any further damage. If someone goes and runs on a torn ACL replacement a month and a half early, but kind of walks away feeling, oh, I didn't really injure myself, they could have slipped that ACL out a little bit and have less stability. So Cam playing on his non 100%, and there's no way it was a 100% Achilles is bad. Jameson Williams going out there and rushing it is bad. So I'd rather have Jameson Williams take his time, because he's not going to be super ultra effective in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 anyway. I'm looking at almost double-digit weeks before we see Jameson Williams start dropping monster production on the field. So Jameson Williams is a real nice shot at becoming an amazing wide receiver at the NFL level. ABOZ dropping the super chat. Jameson Williams just needs to make sure at his young age he gives himself the proper time to heal, because at a young age like Jameson, it could be a non-factor. He could literally become 100% or even stronger with an ACL tear when you do it at a young age and you recover properly. ACL tears are tough. In the first year back, don't expect a lot. I don't care if you're a running back, I don't care if you're a wide receiver. You can get a lot. Look at Cooper Kupp. He had a great first year back from an ACL tear. But this guy, Jameson Williams, just recently tore it. So he's not in the same situation as Kupp. He's not in the same situation as a lot of players that tore it. He tore it very late on. He's literally not even, 7 months in, 6 months in. So Jameson Williams needs time. ABOZ says, Smitty, can I get into a draft? I don't know if it's because I use my phone or what. Every time the graveyard shift, I'm on the graveyard shift, no luck. Change the name to I'll go okay, yeah, bro. DM me on IG. DM me on IG, bro. Appreciate you. Okay, Lee. Appreciate you, Lee. Just got offered JT and Cooks for my Eckler and Lamb full PPR. Should I take it? JT and Cooks for your Eckler and Lamb. As much as I love JT, as much as I feel like JT is the clear 1.1, Eckler's close enough to him, and some people would even draft Eckler 2 or 3 or 4, and you're getting Lamb, bro. You're getting 2 first rounders. I'd take Eckler and Lamb in a heartbeat personally, but that's me. I think JT Cooks is good. Cooks is good enough. If you wanted to roll with JT, I wouldn't call you crazy. But you're talking about Eckler being potentially as productive as JT. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he could potentially be as productive. The idea of it happening is plausible. So if you can get Lamb over Cooks, I take it. That deal I would take in a heartbeat. Akers will be fine. Probably not, bro. Probably not. Not in year one. Not in year one. He could be in time, but the guy's reckless with his body. He rushes himself back onto the field. The Texans aren't looking out for his well-being. His style of play invites injury like no other. That's why he was tagged as the most injury-prone running back walking into 2021 by your boy Smitty, the most likely to get hurt. He still remains the most likely to get hurt, even more so now, because coming back from an Achilles injury, your likelihood of another leg injury that first year back is astronomically high, and especially for a player that's running himself back onto the field without even giving himself the proper time to heal. So is it possible, Bumpy, that he has a really good year? Yeah, and I know you probably own him in a dynasty league, and I understand. I get it. Appreciate you, Lee. Yeah, Swaggy feels the same way you do about Akers. Look, is there a shot that Akers could play and not get hurt, not suffer any other injury somehow? Maybe he starts off even a little slow, but comes on strong by midseason and stays healthy all year. Yes, there is a chance of it, but the chance is very low. Achilles injuries are not injuries that anybody has ever recovered from. Ever, and become a top 15 running back. Ever. So the odds of what you two gentlemen are saying, which I appreciate your angle, but the odds of what you two gentlemen are talking about, nothing, no evidence of it happening. Never has a running back returned to or become a top 15 running, not even top 10, top 15 running back after an Achilles tear. This could be the first time, and you gentlemen will be at the forefront, but I will not be. Get Hendo, absolutely. Hendo's, look, I like Kyrie Williams a lot, but he broke his foot, so we got to adjust and adapt to that. We're gonna keep an eye on Kyrie, but Hendo is definitely the guy to be looking at right now. I think he's got a lot of upside. Akers is still young. Of course he is, Swaggy. That's what gives him a shot. That's what gives him a better shot than any other player that has ever tried to come back from an Achilles tear. Young players have a much better likelihood of recovering, but you still have 0 examples. 0. Not one. So while I appreciate it, not one. Science has changed, has it, when there's not been one? How has science changed, Swaggy, when we have not one example? This is it, Swaggy. This is your example of how many people have recovered and become top 15. Not top 10, Swaggy. Top 15 running backs. Right here, 0. So has science changed, or are you predicting science to change? That I don't know. Because science, you say that as if it's happened. It hasn't happened. There's never been, Swaggy. So if science changed, tell me about it. Come on here and display it. Show us the charts, bro. Because I've got this. Swaggy. I've got this. And I've got this. Okay? These are as old as time. I also have this. I also know there are 0 examples, Swaggy. 0. Okay. Where are we at? What's up, Smitty? My friend to the moon. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you. Henderson can't stay healthy. I mean, that's a good argument, you know. That's why I'm not super high on him, but he has probably that crafty value / upside that I think everybody could enjoy at the end of a draft. Let's see here. Enough of the acres, because there's no argument against it. There's only hope, and hope is good, and there's nothing wrong with hope. Let's get to the other piece of news. So Darren Waller, so Jameson Williams, don't expect him to be on the field anytime soon, but we do wish him well as well, and we want him on the field because Jameson Williams could be a monster. Darren Waller is leaving his contract negotiations up to his agent and the team as he prepares to enter training camp. He's not holding out, which is good news. We thought maybe there was a possibility he could hold out, but basically there's no more guaranteed left, no more guaranteed money left on his contract, which is absolutely crazy contract. It ranks 17th among tight ends in average annual salary. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. Your boy Smitty's gone live so much the last couple days. I've lost my voice screaming and yelling. Apparently I need to stop yelling and screaming so much, is what I'm gathering. It's hard. It's hard when people come in here and start talking about science being changed when science hasn't been changed yet. Unbelievable. Talking injured players is a stupid strategy. Taking injured players is a stupid strategy in fantasy football, says James Conklin. Look, there's a happy medium. You know what I mean? There's a happy medium. Like this example right here. Rubio says, and it's a good counterpoint. It's a good, hey, Smitty, you're talking about injury. What about your boy ETN? ETN, like Akers, is young, right? So that they both have that going for them. When you were younger and you tear your ACL like Jameson Williams, like, here's the thing. There's two players that were up on your screen right there, or that we were talking about, Jameson Williams and Akers. Jameson Williams tore his ACL. That's a really bad injury. Achilles is way worse. Broken hip wall. If you broke your hip wall, that would be the only thing worse than an Achilles injury in my book. When you tear your Achilles, it's oftentimes a death sentence for a player. It is a death sentence for a running back until it's proven correct. Until the player sits up at the wake and it gets out and the running back runs onto the field and dominates. We have no examples, so therefore it is one of those, okay, stay away until proven otherwise, especially when you're taking Akers in like the third round. Absolute total risk. Just season on the line. That's not even like, okay, fifth round. Okay. You know, like J.K. Dobbins, complete stay away. ACL recoveries for running backs are really tough. Achilles are near impossible, if not impossible, until proven otherwise. But running backs, stay away from running backs coming back from a torn ACL. It's too tough on the running back. This isn't Adrian Peterson. No one's going to ever be Adrian Peterson again. Okay, with that recovery. Come back from a torn ACL, run for 2,000 yards. He is a freak. And Barkley is probably the closest thing to being a freak physically, being a guy that could come back and do that. His quad strength stronger than any player in the NFL. He was the definition of a player that was most likely to come back. Most likely to come back. We got motion in the backyard. Ziggy off. And Barkley couldn't do it. So stay away from J.K. Dobbins. Stay away from Gus Edwards. Stop going near these injury-prone players or players that have suffered a season-ending injury that don't look to form. Like if ETN didn't look to form, notice how I love Jameson Williams. Notice how I'm giving Jameson Williams the benefit of the doubt. You notice how I'm saying Jameson Williams could be really, really good. Notice how I've talked up Jameson Williams and saying I really like him. But this year, or at least the early part of the year, I'm not banking on any of it. Like I'm staying clear, or I'm taking him at a certain point. You know, but I'm not counting him out because of injury. ETN, I'm not counting him out because of injury. He's young. Cam Akers is not just injury, it's the exact injury. It's the fact that no examples ever have occurred where a player's returned to top 10 running back form or even top 15. There's no evidence that he looks phenomenal or anything. In fact, we have contrary evidence that the guy struggled and looked like the worst and played like the worst NFL running back in the game upon his return with no explosion. We have no evidence whatsoever. In the case of ETN ETN looks the part. We have footage of him running around, multiple pieces of footage. He looks phenomenal. He's cutting. He's doing everything you need to do to prove that your Liz Frank injury is beyond in the rear view. The Liz Frank injury is a tough injury for older players. It sometimes can be a tough injury for anybody. It sometimes can end your career. Guys, 81 people to 100 people watching, and we only have 19 thumbs up. So if you could punch that button.
Hit that subscribe
For your
button
boy.
if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
I would appreciate it if you guys could do your boy Smitty a solid. ETN has proven, in my mind, multiple pieces of footage that I've looked at and got my hands on. The fact that there's footage of him rounding corners, cutting corners sharply, high stepping, doing all kinds of agility drills, planting left and right, says he's 100%. I believe him because I see it. I don't just take the player's word. Oh, I'm 100%. I'm good to go. Players say that coming off an ACL tear all the time. I'm good to go. Then the next year, they always admit I wasn't 100% all year. Of course you weren't. You suffered an ACL tear, Bob. You're not going to be 100%. I guarantee you. I guarantee you J.K. Dobbins is nowhere near 100%. Nowhere near 100% all year long. I guarantee you Gus the Bus won't be. I guarantee you Akers will not be. Akers is entering his first year back from an Achilles tear. But a casual is going to tell you it's his second year back, because a casual is going to count a couple games that he forced himself onto the field after 6 months recovered. Cam Akers just celebrated his 12-month anniversary of tearing his Achilles tendon. This is year number 1 back on the field. Akers won't be 100%. No one's going to be 100% coming off an Achilles tear for at least a couple years. It takes multiple years. Multiple years. ETN probably came back last year. Could have came back last year, but he didn't because he was smart. He didn't try and pull what Cam tried to pull, which is put your body on the field. It's like getting onto the road with no brake pads and you only have rotors and you start braking all over town. And then you put brake pads on at the end of the year and expect the rotors to be fine. This guy ran out there. And played on a nowhere near 100%, probably nowhere near 80%, probably nowhere near 70% recovered Achilles tendon. Anyway, where were we at? Waller should be good to go. Waller should go. This guy, same takes every time he's in here. Well, no one's forcing you to watch, you know, if it's not entertaining to you. If it's not entertaining, I literally go live 2 hours a day talking about all kinds of content. Like literally 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, probably 11 to 15 hours of live streaming. Live streaming a week. Probably 11 to 15, and you're going to come in and say, Smitty only talks about 4 players. Wow. Darren Waller, guys. Darren Waller is a baller, showing up without his contract. This is disrespectful not to give this man an extension. Pay the man, respect the man. Get him on he is in the field, but get him on the field happy. You don't need this guy being upset getting the 17th overall ranked paid contract in the NFL for the tight end position. This guy deserves the bag. Give him the bag. Do it live. That's the news for today. Take a lap for those comments. Anyway, what do we got here? What's the chat saying? Mark Cleveland says, I haven't heard you say anything about Mixon for the coming year. Look, Mixon set up really well. Depending on where you can get Mixon. 100 of you in here, please hit the thumbs up. We only have 32 people punching that thumb up button. Mark Cleveland wants to know about Mixon. Mixon's falling sometimes, like last night in a mock draft. He fell to the 15 or 16 or 17 overall pick on the regular. I grabbed him in the second round. He is a phenomenal second round pick. Do I like him over a Swift? Do I like him over a Javonte? Do I like him over a Lamb? No, but that's not a knock on Mixon. That's more of just I like those players better. But when Mixon falls to like 15, 16, 17, he's a steal. He's a steal as a second-round player. And I don't know that Mixon's gonna fall to the second in every draft because some people really love him. But I love him in the freaking second round. Let's see. Justin is going to give us his ACL story. I tore my ACL and I wasn't 100% till like 2 years. At 1 year post-op, had soft tissue issues like hamstring strains. Achilles is worse. Look, Justin, I'm the best non-doctor on the internet. I'm the best non-doctor on the internet. People at non-doctor school said that I was the best non-doctor. I was the deep fake doctor. The best deep fake doctor on the internet when it comes to NFL injuries. Okay? I've been doing it 20 years. I'll put my non-doctor skills up against anybody in the fantasy space. Okay? Maybe I don't know everything about anatomy across the board, but I've literally delved into injuries. More importantly, I've seen all of these injuries play out for 20 straight years from a professional perspective. I played fantasy football a lot longer than 20 years. But when maybe there are people that have more knowledge, that have medical training, I get that, to talk about the specific parts of the body, what exactly tore, what maybe the new procedure is, and I try and keep up to date on all that, so that's why your boy Smitty can hang. But the one thing I have that no one else has, I don't care if they're doctors, I don't care if they're doctors in the game, I don't care if they're anything remotely close, is I'm 20 years of watching players rebound from these injuries. 20 years of evaluating ACL injuries. 20 years of evaluating meniscus tears. 20 years of watching MCL injuries linger into the next year. 20 years of watching ACL tears result in hamstring injuries the first year back. So there is a lot that goes into the observation, the pattern recognition of watching player responses and watching players recover. And yeah, there's the rust factor. It's stay away from ACL tears for running backs. Maybe wide receivers. Look at Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp was also an anomaly. But wide receivers can recover from ACL tears quicker than running backs. Running backs, basketball players, or a wide receiver can recover from Broncos.
Mashed potatoes.
Let's rock out with a super chat. Rock out says ice cream for Smitty. Thank you, Rock out. Let's go get some ice cream later. It's hot out. I don't disapprove your ice cream toss out there, pal. Appreciate you. What were we talking about? I don't know. Frank says, I studied anatomy in college, and you're spot on, Smitty. Thank you, Frank. Thank you for I appreciate Frank. I also appreciate who was the ACL story. Somebody gave their ACL story. Justin, appreciate you guys as well. Look, I know people are going to be like, oh, Smitty, what makes you qualified? You have a psych degree, not a med degree. Well, true, Bob. I dabble in the psych as well. Okay, the psyche, I dabble in the fantasy football psychology. I bring it to my show all the time. I bring it to the show. I bring the recency bias effect. I bring all that stuff to the table. And with injuries, more times than not, what you're dealing with people that are blind to the injury are the recency bias or the heavy investment in having acres. You own acres in 4 leagues, of course you're going to come in defending them. And I appreciate that. You own Jameson Williams. You want him to play week 1. He's not going to play week 1. You own a player like J.K. Dobbins, or you are drafting and mock drafting, and or you're a fan of the team or whatever. You're going to be biased toward that player. Like, I understand all that. I break it all down. The psychology of fantasy football. The human condition. This is the whole Melvin Gordon situation. Melvin Gordon going off to free agency, coming back. The disappointment of that made everybody lower him to Javonte to the second round. It's the human condition. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy. I love the psychology in fantasy football. I love it with trade negotiation. I love using it with draft pick trading, with 2-for-1 trading, going to somebody and saying, I'll give you my 2 players for your 1, or order of questioning. If, let's say, Justin or Frank has Austin Eckler, and they have Breece Hall, and they have Kenneth Walker, and let's say I want to go after Kenneth Walker, there's certain things you need to do in order to make trades happen. In order to the order of questioning, you can't just go, hey, what do you want for Kenneth Walker? That's not going to fly, because what are they going to do? Why do you want Kenneth Walker? 2 things happen when you offer somebody a trade. Number one, it triggers the thought process, even if it's subconscious, that they know more than you or you know more than them. Never do you sit there and go, oh, we're both equals. You either think you're a better fantasy owner than the person inquiring about a trade, or you fear that person, even if you can't admit it out loud. Subconsciously, you fear, this guy's a snake. This guy always makes good trades. He knows something I don't. Maybe I feel like I'm a better drafter and all that, but like this guy's coming to me for a reason. I've got questions about why he's inquiring about this player. Think about it. When you go straight for a player, why mention them out the gate? It's only going to hurt you. It's only going to hold you back. The best way to offer a trade is inquire about other players and make them say the person's name, make them come up with the idea, or at least make the idea the third idea you came up with, so you water it down a little bit and the player you ask for isn't in their mind the guy you wanted from the beginning. You're just stumbling upon this idea. Hey, what do you want for Eckler? And if he gives me Eckler, I'm going to make him an offer I'd accept. I'm not going to go after a player just like in an auction that you don't want. You don't bid on a guy you don't want. Eckler, what do you want for Eckler? Oh, he's not for sale. He's my best running back. Boom. He just said he was his best running back. I know Kenneth Walker's not his best running back. Everyone knows Kenneth Walker's not his best running back, but you want him to say it. He just said it. Kenneth Walker is not my best running back. Eckler is. Boom. You got Walker devalued just a little bit. Okay, he's got Breece Hall. Well, I like Breece Hall. He's the number one running back in out of all the rookies by far. I mean, the second best running back, you know that he has Walker. You want Walker. The second best running back has to be, I don't know, Tyler Algier. You know, whatever. Try and dumb down, you know, the trade a little bit. And then you say, then he says, no, I'm not trading Breece Hall. He's my next best running back. Boom. He just admitted that Kenneth Walker is lower on the totem pole. Now, I don't know. I need a running back. Who else you got? You're making him say it. He says it. He says it out loud. I've got Kenneth Walker. I'm essentially saying Kenneth Walker's available. Even if he doesn't want to trade him, he's saying his name, and you say, I don't know, bro. Isn't Penny the starter? No. Start getting him to defend it. No. Let me sell you this. He's not the... Kenneth Walker's taking over at some point. I don't know, bro. Penny looks so good. Did you see Penny at the end of the year? He's like the best running back in fantasy football. No. Kenneth Walker's going to ball. They wouldn't draft him as high as they did, bro. Drafted 2 offensive linemen. Kenneth Walker, he's going to the moon, pal. Kenneth Walker to the moon.
To the moon.
I don't know, bro. What would you even want for him? That's how you trade for Kenneth Walker. That's how you... I'm not saying he wants to trade him. Maybe he still says, you can say whatever you want. I love all 3 of my backs. I'm a no trading Noah. I'm a no trading Noah. Or Newman. How about Newman? I'm a no trading Newman. Okay? Newman doesn't make trades. Newman's that guy in your league that literally, no matter what, you could literally, let's say he drafts DeAndre Swift walking out of round 1, who I love too. I love DeAndre. You could literally, on the way out the door, look at no trading Newman. And you could say to Newman, hey, Newman, I'll give you JT, who I just took at 1.1 for your Swift. No trading Newman would be like, no, I'm just going to go ahead and see how it plays out in week 1. What if I gave you Newman, no trading Newman? What if I gave you not only JT, but I give you my future first rounder? No trading Newman would say, no, I'm just going to go ahead and let it play out and see how it goes after week 1. Those people we can't stand. They won't trade for anything. I'm not saying that my strategy or approach that I just mapped out is going to land you a trade no matter what. I'm telling you it puts you in the best position to make a trade. Use the psychology that I teach you in terms of how to negotiate trade. Your boy Smitty's got a book coming out on Amazon on how to negotiate as it relates to fantasy football, but as it relates to life as well. How to negotiate like a boss is the name of the book. It's coming out on Amazon. I hope to have it out before the season kicks off, but I don't know if it will. But how to trade like a boss, how to negotiate like a boss, how to come in and use order of questioning to your advantage. Similar to this, if Ron Navy, let's do a little exercise. Ron Navy, I tell Ron, I've got tickets to the NFL draft. We're going. I've got the hotel. I've got the tickets. I've got the flight. I got the car. I'm driving. I got the brand new car oiled up. It's ready to go. Gas. All of it's on me, bro. Do you want to go, Ron Navy? Ron Navy says, I'm in. I'm in, young man. I'm in. Let's go to the NFL draft. Okay. This is how you slow the foot in the door phenomenon. Okay. This is the foot in the door phenomenon. And then I call Ron up a week later and I say, Ron, hey, the car's on the fritz, bro. I just got it. It sucks. I know. Can you believe it? Can you drive? I'll pay for the gas. I got the tickets. I got everything squared away. I just need the ride. Ron's like, yeah. Okay. I can drive. Boom. Call Ron a couple weeks later. Ron, man, got hit hard with some bills, bro. The car got, messed up. Insurance didn't cover it. Can you believe it? I know. Ron, I can't pay. Can you fork over half the gas? I just need a little extra. We'll get there. It's gonna be awesome. The tickets, we got them. Let's go. Ron's like, yeah, okay. Ron's already invested at this point. So we get there. Hotel's not covered. Ron, we're gonna have to split the hotel. But Ron's like, whatever. He's already there. He's gonna do it. Point is, foot in the door phenomenon. If I called Ron and say, hey Ron, will you drive me to the NFL draft? Pay half the gas, pay for half the room, and basically pay half the bill. Do you want to go to the NFL draft? Ron would say, no, I don't want to go to the NFL draft and pay half of the bill so you can go cheaper. That's the foot in the door phenomenon. This is psychology. This is negotiation. This is how you trade with people. This is how you talk to people. I'm not saying use this in a malice way. I'm not saying use this in a way to manipulate. I'm merely trying to paint how powerful foot in the door phenomenon, order of questioning being, had you said, hey, do you want to go to the NFL draft and pay half the way so that it's cheaper for me? Ron would have said no. But if you do things in certain orders, just like when you guys ask about certain players, hey, you want to make a trade? I want Kenneth Walker. Will you trade it? Hey, I want to make a trade. You want to trade me Kenneth Walker? Do you think that guy's trading you Kenneth Walker? Number one, even if he doesn't know, even if he knows more than you and he's like, you idiot, I'm not trading Kenneth Walker. Let's say the other example where he doesn't know if he feels inferior to you in your fantasy football knowledge, and you say, hey, I want Kenneth Walker. If the person fears you, the first thing they're going to do is go, I'm going to look like a fool if I trade Kenneth Walker to this guy. I know him. He's a shark. He knows what he's doing. He wants him for a reason. I'm not doing a trade. I'm scared of that. That's option 2. Like, it's either you feel like you know more, and if Ron Navy says, hey, give me Kenneth Walker, he's feeding into if I feel like I know more, he's feeding into my ego. He wants Kenneth Walker? Of course he wants Kenneth Walker. I know what I'm doing. That's why he wants Kenneth Walker. That's why. I know he wants it. You're not riding into the championship on my back, Ron. You're not riding into the championship on my back. I know what I'm doing. You want to come in and scoop up Kenneth Walker after I did the hard, heavy lifting and the analysis and scouting? I don't think so, Ron. That's what the egotistical owner's going to think. And there's only 2. There's I know more than you, or they know more than me and I don't want to trade with them. And if Ron knew more and Ron comes asking for Kenneth Walker, my reaction is going to be, I can't do it. What if I look like a fool? Order of questioning is the only way to sliver in there and make sure, and again, not saying use it in malice or in ways that manipulate in a way that's going to ruin your friendship, but you have to be a smooth operator with how you're offering your trades and how you're maneuvering. So if you just go straight for the player, whether they're better than you or you're better than them in their eyes, they're still going to not do the trade. I know more? No. You know more? No. Either way, it's no. You're not going to get Kenneth Walker by saying, hey, will you trade me Kenneth Walker? Right out of the gate. It's order of questioning. It's so important and vital in trade negotiation 101. It's important and vital in any negotiation at all. If you're in a job interview, do you sit there and go, hey, I want to get paid this, and you give them your top salary? No, you shoot higher and you negotiate down. It's really simple. And a lot of people don't use negotiating properly because they're impatient and they don't like to play the game. Why are you so high on Walker or Breece Hall? What if they suck? Gee, that's an interesting question, bro. Part of why I like him, bro, is I've looked at him and I've evaluated it. I'm not just taking two rookies, Anthony, and just pinning the tail on the donkey and saying, oh, that's the one. We're going to roll with Hall. Okay, number 2, pin the tail on the donkey. Oh, Kenneth Walker. We're going to go ahead. What if they suck? Yeah, let's not draft him. Let's not draft him. What if ETN sucks, Anthony? What if Adrian Peterson? What if you feared Adrian Peterson was going to suck? Anthony, you know how you get over that? You pull up your pants, your big boy pants, you make your evaluation, and I'm not saying this toward you, Anthony. I'm just saying this is how you do it. You evaluate, you trust your gut, you tie your shoelaces real tight, you pull your pants up, you buckle your pants. Don't let them sag as you walk into your draft day. And you draft the players you firmly believe in your gut are going to drop monster loads all over the field, Anthony. It's as simple as that. It's possible to screw up, okay? It's possible that your analysis is wrong, and then you're back to the drafting board. You're back to the evaluation board in the process and maybe being critical of maybe what was wrong with your process. Anthony, if I thought my process was bad in identifying the breakout players, you'd be right. What if they suck? That would suck. What if I sucked, Anthony? What if I sucked at what I do? That would really suck. But thank God we've got this, Anthony, to guide us. This right here is the answer.
Get breached. Get breached. Get breached.
Breece Hall is going to breece everybody at the NFL level. And this is even more important. This right here is probably our guide and answer key. Anthony, this will guide you. This will tell you whether you should believe in these men or not. The fact that they're on this list right here.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Notice that there's a boy named Kenneth Breece Hall on this list. Notice that Kenneth Walker is not on this list yet. That doesn't mean he won't be. We're slowly unveiling the Moon Men. We also have a change coming down tomorrow, and that change is going to be that we are unveiling another trip into space. We have the Moon Men, we have the Mars or Pluto Men, and that's going to be a select few. If you ask the wrong question, like, hey Smitty, Overcome's been a member for 2 months of the YouTube memberships, by the way. Appreciate you, Overcome. If you ask me a question like, hey, can we send Russell Gage to Mars? That's not to say I don't like Russell Gage, but the Mars men, or the Pluto men, whatever we decide is going to be the case. Pluto is technically the furthest. It's not a planet to everybody, but the furthest planet, it's what does everybody call it now? It's not a planet. It's what is it? It's like a moon. What is Pluto considered now? Just a rock? Like, what is it? What is it? Somebody tell me what Pluto's considered now. Uranus. No, we got Uranus coming too. Prime, Uranus is for the bad players. If we don't like a player, we're sending him to Uranus. Okay? If we like a player, we're sending him to the moon. If we love a player, it's either going to be Neptune or Mars. Pluto is not recognized as an actual planet anymore, which I think is a shame. Dwarf planet. Thank you, Prime. So what is a planet? It's a dwarf planet. But we don't want to send someone to a dwarf planet. It just doesn't have the same ring to it. I believe Neptune is the furthest planet from, like, if here's the sun, Neptune is the furthest planet from the sun at times because of its oblong, whatever, the non-circular path around the sun. So at certain points, at its longest point, it is Neptune. Then it comes back in and it's not the longest. But we'll figure it out. We'll map it out. But we have Mars. It'll probably be Mars. Mars is just the most common. Sending somebody to Neptune, I don't know. It sounds like a negative. It sounds like a negative thing. So it'll probably be Mars. It's an entity. Yeah. Are the rings around Uranus? We don't know. It's possible. I asked that question in astronomy in college, It did not get received well by either the professor or the students, but I did feel it necessary to ask the question. It was something that had to be done. I did it. It was in a classroom full of about 350 people. I raised my hand. I thought I was really funny. I was 21-year-old Smitty, 20-year-old Smitty, raised my hand and I said, yeah, I have a question. Are there rings around Uranus? There were a couple chuckles and there were a couple. Sit down. I heard a few of those. Pluto has officially been recognized as a cartoon dog, says ML. Overcome drops a super chat. Overcome, appreciate you. I had a dream. I was in the gym. You were walking and doing live stream on your phone. Kareem Hunt was to my left. You walked up to him for a question. Attaboy, Overcome. Appreciate that. I appreciate living in your world outside of the show, bro. I'm blessed. It's an honor. The sun is the only one in the universe, says Hefe. We're apparently a very small speck in the universe, according to the new telescope. And maybe we got to send somebody past the Mars. I don't know. But anyways, look for that tomorrow. We're going to be changing up the Moon Men and making it just a little bit more interesting. We also have the space station, but we'll figure that out.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
That's it. Anthony, I appreciate the question. Again, I wasn't going at you. You just said, what if they suck? Well, what if anybody sucks, bro? What if your evaluation sucks? What if you don't do well in fantasy football? What if I suck? What if I don't know what I'm talking about, Anthony? That's what we're all here to decide, and that's why we do what we do. Smitty in class like a guy joking about his girlfriend and yeah. Smitty, send a Get Bree shirt to Brazil. Well, you can order a Get Bree shirt by going to the merch store, bro. And I'll drop the merch link right now in the chat. I can't send a shirt to Brazil, bro. I wouldn't know the first thing about it. So here's the pin link. Anybody wants the merch? Here's the merch right here. Look at this. Look at this. Get Breezed, Breeze's Pieces. We got more coming. This isn't it. We don't just stop with this merch. We do merch runs all the time. I don't know how long the shirt will be up, but we're going to keep this up for a little bit. Make sure you get your shirt before it goes away. I'm getting one of each of these, and I'm wearing it to work like a uniform. So if you want to get Breezed, there you go. Get your shirt. Link is in the description. Link is also pinned in the live chat. So go ahead and jump on that. Make sure you don't miss out on this merch run, because I imagine the shirt won't be up, forever. Dane says, great content, Smitty, in a 10-team Dynasty Superflex PPR. I'm rebuilding. Would you trade Barkley, Hopkins a third for Ayuk, a 2023 first, 2024 first? Depends on where the first rounders are at, man. If they've got a shot at being the 1.1, sure. If it doesn't, then no. It doesn't, I'm going to be trading. And wait until the season goes and you got Barkley, popping off or something, before you do that. It's not a bad move, but it'd have to be high draft picks. If it's not high draft picks, then the answer would be no. Rock Out says super chat. Okay. Rock Out says, would still cuff St. Brown with Jameson Williams? Absolutely, Rock Out. Absolutely. Look, that's a great point. I'm glad Rock Out brought that up. Make sure if you draft St. Brown, you get Jameson Williams. That is a great cuff. That's one of the rare wide receiver cuffs in fantasy football. It's a really good cuffing situation. Meet the Woo says, sending someone to the dwarf planet is hilarious. Maybe Pluto is where we send the players we don't like. I don't know, because it is kind of like it's not a respectable name of a planet, Pluto. You're gonna send someone to Pluto? That's not an accomplishment. It's a dwarf planet. I mean, it's a smaller planet that isn't like some monster. Like sending somebody into Neptune. The conditions in Neptune are horrendous. Pluto, I could probably live on Pluto without a mask. Pluto sounds like an easily conquerable planet. You send me to Pluto, I'll have a dynasty there by the end of the day. Pluto. Javonte Brees is not hard to get in most drafts. It's not. You can get Javonte in 2. You can get Brees Hall in sometimes 4. And then you can get Jamar Chase, and you can go after all kinds of other weaponry around it. Absolutely love it. No, Uranus is not. Uranus has no rings. Gordon to Pluto. Yeah, I think maybe Pluto's where it's at. I think Uranus is probably funnier, but maybe we just send him to Pluto. We'll vote on that. Who wants to send players we don't love or that I don't love? Maybe the viewers will love the player. But who wants to send a player to Uranus, or who wants to send the player to Pluto? Vote. What are we doing here? What would my parents say if they were watching this show? This is my son. This is why he went to college twice. This is my... My mom does do this. When you ask my mom what I do, she'll tell people, I don't know what he does. Something with football. I always tell him, what if football goes under? What if the football cancels? Then what? Then what would he do? I don't even know what he does. He's on the internet doing a bloggy video. He blog videos on the internet. I don't know what he does. What would my parents say when I'm like, do we do the Uranus planet or do we do Pluto? Such decisions. What are we doing today, people? We got to decide. What does Monday look like for us? What should I do Monday for work? Should I make a Pluto graphic or a Uranus graphic or an animation? What is a better use of my time and college degree? I live in a weird world. I mean, it is strange. I admit, like I'm blessed. I'm blessed that Monday morning for work, I'm gonna be working on Uranus. Monday, I'll be working on Uranus. I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to be a doctor or what. He thinks he's a doctor, but he doesn't have a degree. He has a psych degree, but he thinks he's a doctor, and he goes on. I'm a nurse. I'm a former nurse. This is Smitty's mom, and he's talking about medical. I went to school for it, and he's out there prancing around like a doctor, like a non-doctor. My son. Tolbert to Pluto. No, Tolbert's going to be good, bro. Tolbert's going to be good. We're not sending Tolbert to Pluto. No. Appreciate everybody here. What else we got? You guys want to take a couple phone calls?
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
My son. I don't know what my son does for a living. He just told people he's going to make a Pluto graphic for Monday. That's on Monday's docket. Dial in if you have a question. Let's roll.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL.
Why is it you fancy backs who are on teams rated last? I don't fancy anything. I like players that play well. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hey, Smitty.
Identify yourself. Who is this?
Smitty.
Yeah.
John.
Who is this?
Hey, man, I got a question. So went ahead and picked Breece Hall up off the waivers, and I have Aaron Jones as a possible other keeper, but I also have Javonte Williams, and we're in a 8-team keeper league, so I'm not sure that Breece will be around third or fourth round. So would you risk taking him since his value so low right now or high?
So you have Aaron Jones already, you said?
Yes.
And you have Javonte as well?
Yes.
Okay, you have Javonte and Aaron Jones, and you're on the clock, and you have Breece Hall as an option. Who are the other options?
Well, all the other running backs will be gone by then.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the top running back. That's what I'm saying. I'm tempted just to keep him as my keeper.
Oh, Breece Hall, how are you going to keep?
Another top.
How are you going to keep Breece Hall as your keeper?
I went ahead and picked him off with waivers already.
Breece Hall?
Yes.
How do you pick Breece Hall off of waivers? What kind of league is this?
It was ESPN. I don't know. I mean, ESPN. Half point PPR.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course you take him, bro. He's like, especially if there's keeper impact, he's a lock in the third round. Like in the fourth round, you try and get him in redraft in the fourth round if you can. But when there's keeper value, punch it, bro. You'll have amazing running backs. But okay. I would potentially try and see what's out there at wide receiver. Who are your wide receivers going to be?
I don't have any keepers for wide receiver right now.
Okay.
I don't have it. I mean, my roster was terrible.
Explore. I venture to say this is an 8-man league.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured. I thought maybe 6, but I was going to be gentle because that's crazy. Breece Hall sitting on a waiver. That's like a 4-man. This is like a 1-man league, bro. This is like right. You calling up and saying, I'm playing against myself. Should I pick up Breece Hall off waivers or not?
Yeah.
Explore going and getting a wide receiver using Aaron Jones because I believe Breece Hall and Javonte will take care of you plenty. And if you've got no wide receivers, look for Lamb. Look for potential opportunities to trade a running back, a valuable running back, a scarcity for a wide receiver. I don't know if you're going to get Lamb, but definitely poke around. Debo wouldn't be a bad option, especially with the contract situation. A bunch of layman's, fantasy Karens, whatever, Bobs. They're not going to know. They're not going to know that Debo's going to be fine, and so they're going to be a little bit worried. So I would go shopping around. Aaron Jones could have a good year. I'm not saying trade Aaron Jones. If you think you could fill the wide receiver room well, that you could get a DK and a Waddle because apparently these other 7 people, they're waiting for their magazines to be delivered from Amazon, and their fantasy magazine subscription is delayed, so they don't know what they're doing yet. If that's the case, then don't make a trade on Aaron Jones unless you can upgrade him, like the Swift. I don't know. Go see if Swift's on waivers, bro.
All right.
Hey, who is this?
All right.
What's your name?
It's Don.
Don, okay. Don, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man.
You got another question, you call up, all right?
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Man, hope that was a money leak. Dude found a $500 bill on the street. Yahoo is the only site that understands waivers correctly, says Swaggy. Well, you can set up waivers however you want, Swaggy, in different leagues. You don't have to go with the cookie cutter waiver process. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I venture to say ESPN and Yahoo are the most limiting because you can't adjust a whole lot, or you can, but sometimes ESPN mostly. I guess Yahoo. I haven't played Yahoo enough lately to fully know the commissioner ins and outs, to be honest. So maybe I shouldn't say that about Yahoo. I played in a Yahoo league last year, but I hadn't for years before that. And Yahoo is kind of fun. It was kind of fun. I was pleasantly surprised at the changes that were made between 1997 and when I played last year. I was like, you know what? I've been a little critical of Yahoo. They've made some upgrades since 97. They went mobile. It's mobile friendly now. They added PPR. This is looking good. Looking promising. But you can definitely you can change Fab, So I don't know what you mean. Explain why is Yahoo good? What does Yahoo do that other platforms can't do? Do they make, do they identify the picks different? Overcome calling in. What's up, Overcome? What's up, pal?
Hey, what's going on, man?
You're live on the show.
Man? All right, man. Hey, I was just wondering, do you have any anything that stands out for being a commissioner and changing anything in regards to defenses or kickers, point schemes for those guys? I mean, I don't know. Do you usually play with those? Do you change things up?
No, I mean,
track points for kickers missing.
Look, there's only one thing.
Get rid of kickers and add another wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't mind get rid of players like that, but there's only one thing you can do.
I don't know.
There's only
one.
Can you hear me okay? I don't know why I was muted.
Yeah.
There's only one way to approach this, bro, and that's that you got to make sure it's a unanimous vote or like a 10 out, like a 9 out of 12 like vote, like something overwhelming, not just majority, like not just like 75% or something like that or 60%. It's got to be like above 80 or 90.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Like you making a change like that where people have drafted is crazy. Like, without, you're going to disrupt the league. If everybody says it's okay, then do it, but I think you got to do trades or got to do commission moves that everybody approves and everybody wants. Like this whole thing of like making it a keeper league when someone didn't draft that way, and you're going to ruin the league that way. If everybody wants to do it, that's different. But you got to do things with a vote. Like when I'm a commissioner, and I try not to commission any leagues anymore. But when I'm a commissioner, I'm a commissioner of the people. And what the people want, I don't even let myself vote on things. I just, that's a true commissioner. A true commissioner isn't going to even put himself in the vote. He's going to say, what do the people want? And if everybody says, hey, I want to just become a super flex, I don't even put my own vote in. And if it's like unanimous on something like that, you can do it. If there's 2 people against it, those 2 people might leave. But you got to make that call. Maybe you don't care about those 2 people leaving. You can fill their spots pretty quickly. I don't know. But existing leagues are hard to change once. Is it a redraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a redraft, then everybody know. Okay, so if it's not a dynasty, if it's a redraft, everybody knows the rules going in. So if you want to make changes, that's fine too. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about a dynasty league.
Yeah, no, I'm not in any dynasty leagues yet.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, if you let everybody know up front, no more kickers. They know up front, But like if you're changing to an existing dynasty league, it's tough. So yeah, in your situation, do whatever, bro. But I would get approval. Otherwise, you get people that say I don't want to play in a league that doesn't have like tight ends anymore or something like that because you just made a call. Like definitely ask the people. But yeah, redraft league, a lot less pressure on it. Sorry.
Good deal, man. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Got anything else?
No news on Kamara yet. I heard speculation he might not even be suspended this season. Have you heard anything about that?
But who said that?
I did not know where.
Nobody knows.
That.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I'm not saying it because I don't know. I'm saying who said that. No, nobody knows. Maybe I said it. Maybe my mom said it. Maybe my mom just said in the corner, "There's a chance Kamara won't get suspended," and then it just somebody took it and ran with it, bro. No one has any of that information. The speculation is from somebody that's trying to analyze in the past, could have things like this been pushed forward to the next season. That's what it is. He's getting suspended. The question isn't, is he getting suspended? The question is there a loophole or a way to delay it so that the NFL can't make a determination yet? Like the NFL is going to be like, when we have all the facts, we can make a determination. If Kamara's camp can make it, hey, this is such a, like he's getting older. He's a running back. He's got, a couple years left, max. There's no way Kamara has more than 2 years of Alvin Kamara level production, right? So he has a short window of time. If he can delay it a year, that's great for him. That's great for him. If he goes out in his prime right now, misses 6 to 8 games, comes back rusty, gets hurt because it's kind of like a holdout. When you're suspended for 6 to 8 games, a lot of times injury-wise, it's like a holdout. When a player holds out and they come back mid-season, they oftentimes get hurt because they get thrown to the wolves. They're not ready. They're not trained like everybody else. They didn't go through everything the way everyone's going through, easing into, you're hitting people that are, well oiled into they're like machines, just operating at full capacity mid-season. Whereas this guy's coming in like it's a preseason game and gets hurt. So Kamara, it's not a good look for him, and it's not good for his career. And he could go downhill from here if he sits out 6 to 8 games, comes back rusty, gets hurt, and then comes back the next year in 2023 as a top 5 running back. Like, it seems awfully unlikely to play out that way, right? So Kamara is hoping that he plays 2022 in full because he doesn't want to stop the momentum he has in his career right now. And there's a chance that happens, sure. But everybody's speculating. There's no concrete evidence whatsoever that the NFL or the decision makers of the discipline are literally going, yeah, we might do this next year. No one said that. No one. That has come from zero people. It's somebody just trying to speculate. This could get pushed forward if they can, delay this or delay that, sure. But nobody has a clue. My advice is draft them in the 3rd round in one league. Don't do it in multiple leagues. And that's that.
Roger that. All right. Thanks, dude.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Talk.
All right, what else you got? Frake, what's going on, man? Glad I got my main league onto that last year. Superflex is going to take over soon. Superflex is fun, bro. Superflex is fun. I like to keep both things going, Superflex and non-Superflex. I wouldn't change all my teams over to Superflex. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
What's up, Smitty? This is Nick right here.
Nick, what's up, Nick?
Hey, so I'm in a $100 4-player keeper league, and I'm going into the season. I got a pretty stacked roster. I'm walking in with Eckler, Mixon, Dalvin Cook, and Devontae Adams. This is the 5th year of the 4-player keeper league, and I'm thinking about trading off one of my running backs and to try to beef up my wide receiver room. Which of those 3 running backs do you think is going to have the biggest decline and I should get rid of this season? I'm thinking Dalvin Cook. What do you think about that?
So you have Eckler, Mixon, Adams, and Cook?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your team. I mean, to be honest with you, as much as I do appreciate Mixon this year, Mixon has taken a beating for multiple years. Cook has taken a beating. His shoulder, his labrum is like paper probably, and his shoulder could absolutely pop out of socket anytime he gets hit hard at all. So like these are 2 very injury prone players. Then you got Eckler, who probably he's gonna have a monster year, but he probably doesn't have like 4 years left or 3 years left. He probably has 1 or 2 years left. So every single one of these players is like, getting older. But the question you got to ask yourself is, can you win a championship with this team? You probably can. These are all guys that are still balling right now. As long as you back up Cook with Madison. I don't know if you have Madison. You should be.
No, but I do plan on handcuffing Madison like pretty early. That way I can secure him just in case Cook goes down. Madison still has that RB1 upside,
Yeah. I don't want to tell you to get rid of these guys because they all could ball out in 2022. Like, I'm not ripping on Mixon or Cook or Adams or Eckler. They're all like, this will win you the championship, this team. The question you got to ask yourself is, can you slide into a very similar player that's younger? Like, can you trade a Mixon and something for a Breece Hall and start building and winning? Because give me Hall over Mixon all day long in any sort of keeper dynasty format. And this is a little bit more in the vein of a dynasty than a keeper because there's 4 players. That's pretty deep. For me, it feels like Hall's going to outweigh Mixon. He's going to outweigh Cook. And so if you can do that kind of maneuvering, that's better. That's a great move because Cook and Mixon are going to have 1 or 2 years left.
All right, I got you. I was just trying to figure out what you would do if you would just ride it out this year with the 3 running backs, or try to make a move this year and get ready for the following few years. You know what I mean?
I'd do both. I would I would try and do both. I would ride it out if I couldn't trade, or I would try and trade, and if I get the right deal, I would do it. But you got to make a move that is a sidestep into a quietly as good player, because you will be passing on a championship opportunity, which you clearly have with this team. I mean, Eckler and Mixon are both arguably top 10 overall players. Adams is arguably, actually all 4 of these guys are arguably top 12. So like, that's going into redraft mode. But I mean, redraft mode is, the last time I looked into it, could still win you cash money. You know what I'm saying? So like this right here, if it's a money league, you could win cash money here. only trade out of Mixon, Eckler, Cook, or Adams if you're getting into a understated similar option like Breece Hall, like ETN. Do I take?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Trade one of those guys for like a Breece and a wide receiver 2, or like an ETN and a wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I mean that I like, because I take, honestly, in a dynasty, I take Breece Hall over. I mean, you could argue Eckler over him, but I take him over all three of these guys. I take Breece Hall over all three of these guys in a dynasty startup, and anybody's more than welcome to at me.
All right. Appreciate that, Smitty. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you very much. Later.
Have a good one.
All right, guys. I am out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay? So that means your boy Smitty will be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. But it does not stop there, because if there's breaking news, I go live. I fire up the studio. I walk in and I go live. Anytime there's significant breaking news, your boy Smitty is live. I want you to remember that. Ron, you've got 36 seconds. What's up, pal?
Hey, brother. I got my little toe cut off in best ball draft with Metchie going out.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering. I got 2 real quick questions for you.
You got 22 seconds as it's counting down. I'll hit the 2-minute extender for you. Go ahead.
Additional 2 minutes.
No, here. I'll give you 2 minutes.
1 minute 53 seconds. What do you got? Your toe. I thought maybe you really cut your toe off, Ron.
So no. With Metchie, my 17th round draft pick in my, not all mine, but I had a pretty good share of him. I wonder if Connor dealt with the same type of thing, and I wonder if Connor seems like the kind of dude that will hear about that and reach out to him maybe, and maybe help him through this leukemia thing. And the other thing I had is, what's your take on Everett this year, being with the Chargers? I think he's going to rock out, in the price you can get him at way down in the draft. I think is an awesome price to take it, pick on him later on down
for
in the
sure,
draft.
Especially in best ball.
If you spend some pipe.
Especially in best ball, Ron, because like you draft him and you don't have to worry about him working out. If he works out, the optimal lineup is going to take care of you. So I really like Everett as a second tight end in best ball right now. I agree.
Who would you say? Who would you like? Think about pairing him up with?
Freiermuth.
If you're tight end.
Freiermuth, I love, because Freiermuth is the most underrated tight end. He's going at like 10th round, 11th round, 12th round sometimes. Dawson Knox is weird too, because Dawson Knox will either go in around 9 or he'll go after Freiermuth in 12 or 11. So like one of those guys. Draft one of those guys as your starter, and then Everett's your backup. Like, if you wanted to go Everett as your starter, you could. But, like, sometimes I think there's no point in doing that when you're looking at the board and literally you're just deciding between scraps. And Freiermuth is still there at the point where scraps are on the board. So it's like I find myself never trying to get too cute with the tight end position. Not to mention, Freiermuth is one of those guys that I think has huge potential. Knox. I like Knox more than Freiermuth. I like Goddard a lot. I like Goddard about as much as Freiermuth right now, or close to it. Those are just great options that are always there when scraps are on the table. So I just find myself never having to start an Everett. But I love Everett as a backup, and I love him more so in best ball, because then you don't have to make any decision with it. If he does ball out, let's say he's better than Freiermuth, you're taking care of in best ball, because it starts him for you. And you can go over to use promo code Smitty, everybody. Underdog Fantasy, link in the description. Go play some underdog drafts. Draft Everett. Get him on your bench. I'm glad your toe's okay, Ron.
Yeah, no, I just meant that in best ball, in my underdog best ball, I got one of my little toes cut off because I'm not going to play this year. But
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Taking my call last minute.
No problem, dude. Anytime. I was just letting you know that I was the timer was up, and And I extended it 4 minutes for you, so I appreciate you dropping the super chat.
Show ends in 1 minute.
I will see you later, Ron. Always appreciate you.
All righty.
Ron Navy, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a good one, brother.
Ron Navy, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, bye.
Later. The Madcap, Ron Navy. I'm live Monday through Friday, the Fantasy Football Show. And again, I am live anytime there's breaking news. So if tonight news breaks, if tomorrow morning news breaks, I'll get my bathrobe on, I'll walk in, and I'll fire up the studio. I just want you to remember that. Anybody remembers anything coming out of my shows, I want you to remember Smitty will be live if news ever breaks, and I need to jump on his YouTube the moment something crazy is going on. I answer pretty much every comment. I've been a little behind the last couple days. I will get to everybody's comment. I answer every comment on my channel, at least 99.9% of the time in the YouTube comments. So ask your question. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com to get your one-on-one text advice, your bold predictions. I've dropped 10 bold predictions already. Get over there. Thefantasyfootballshow.com. Later. Appreciate you all. Get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Get that content, your bold predictions, the rankings, the articles, the trade calculator, everything. Appreciate you all. Breaking news. Oh no, I thought we had breaking news. It was just the Cardinals' new alternate helmet, which is pretty sick. Appreciate you all. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get lammed.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Take a lap, take a lap. Take a lap, take a lap.
Get breached. Get breached.